Hi everyone. Today I want to take a quick look at how to use the Bootstrap Grid system. This is just going to be a very basic, fundamental level introduction to the Bootstrap Grid system. I'm going to try to take less than 5 minutes on this, just to provide some starting place for you. So, first of all, the Bootstrap website, getbootstrap.com, has a really wonderful documentation set, and on the CSS page, there's some great information about how to use the Bootstrap grid system. And looking at these examples is actually quite useful. Here you can see the Bootstrap grid system consists of a 12-column grid that is defined at a few different screen sizes. So we have extra small devices, medium devices, and large devices. Each size is going to correspond to one of these definitions. Call MD, call SM, call XS. That's the way that we're going to reference at which size the 12 columns should exist. All of these are tied into mobile responsive breakpoints, media queries, which will break at these predefined levels and will cause your grid to start stacking in a way that becomes more friendly for smaller screen devices. So in general, you define your grid sort of at the larger size and then also at the smaller sizes. There's a lot of flexibility here, and all of it can seem fairly overwhelming. So I'm going to take a really simple example and just walk through how we can make some columns and do some layout specific with the Bootstrap grids. So here I have a page. There's just a demo page full of a bunch of sort of basic kind of conventional style layout or conventional style HTML elements. On this page we have like this weird contact section, then we have like some blog post section going on. All of this stuff is could be considered to be something that could be suitable for putting into some sort of grid layout. So in general, let's try putting the contacts and the blog posts on opposite sides of the page. So first thing that I'm going to do is actually link in the style sheet. So I already have my demo style sheet in here, but I actually want to link the Bootstrap style sheets. And what I want to link is the full Bootstrap and then also the Bootstrap theme. So that's located in CSS, bootstrap.css. I'm going to go ahead and use the full size. Mistype there. Let me fix that up real quick. I'm also going to link in the theme. I'm going to link the non-minified version of Bootstrap because if we do look at any of these styles in the inspector, I want to make sure that they are readable. But if you're doing stuff and planning to put it on a website, you can feel free to use the minified version of Bootstrap, obviously. So we now have the Bootstrap styles linked in. That in and of itself should have probably altered the way that our page looks. So I'm going to click to preview it. And we can see that we're actually definitely seeing Bootstrap styles in here because we're seeing the sans serif font, and we have these colors and font sizes. So that's all great. We will often use a container on our Bootstrap page, and sometimes it's useful to go ahead and just class the entire body with the container class. And when we do that, we can then preview this page again, and you notice now that we have some margins and everything on it, and that looks pretty nice. We can use containers within containers, and we can use containers kind of anywhere in the page that we wanted to. I also want to make these sections into rows, so I'm going to go ahead and just give them a class of row so that I can make them into individual rows. And then what I want to do is divide up this row into some columns. So I'm actually going to add a little markup here. I'm going to add a div, and this one will be, I'm going to call it call MD6, the class that I give it. And I'm going to go ahead and tuck this contacts area in here. And then I'm going to make another div, and I'm going to give it the same class. And I'm going to tuck this contact form into this div. So now, if I look at this, you can see that it doesn't look like it did anything, but that's because the window's so narrow. If I make this window wider, you can see that it actually jumps up onto the same line. I can view this a little bit better if I copy out this link and view it in a new tab. You can see it then, that's what it looks like. And if I inspect the element here, you can see that that column and that column, those are two separate columns. So that's fairly handy. That's really the basics. So in this situation, and then here you can see that if I narrow that page, it will stack again the way that you saw before, which is when it's breaking for smaller screen sizes. So what you can see here is that I use this call MD6. Remember that I said that each row is going to be divided into 12 columns. So what this is saying is that at medium screen width, I want this this page to be 6 columns wide. And what you can see is that when we pull that up at the screen width that it is here, it actually stacks because it's less than medium screen width. But if we go to this other tab, you can see that they lay out side by side because it's at the bigger screen width. If we wanted it to stay 2 columns, say even at a very small screen size, then I could switch this from call MD to call XS. And when I do that, we can see that it still stays 2 columns because now I've specified even at the extra small screen size, each of these sides of this row should be 6 columns wide. I could also switch this around so that I could say this should be 8 and this should be 4. And as long as these things add up to 12, I'm not going to have any problems. As you can see here now, this form is more squished over here because it's only taking up 4/12, while the contacts area has 8/12 to take up. Likewise, I could go down here to the blog posts, and on this on each of these blog post divs, I could put a class equals call XS 3. And I'm just going to paste that on each of these blog post divs. And that's going to actually make these blog posts line up. So you can see how they lined up right here. Now 3, 3, and 3, that's only 9, so it actually left a whole nother column here. Obviously, if I want to divide 12 by 3, I should actually use 4. And so if I switch these to 4, you'll see that they now take up equal widths across, and I have those blog posts in columns across now. This is basically how you use rows and columns in Bootstrap. This is a really simple example. Remember that your rows need to total up to 12. You can use offsets. If they don't total up to 12, your rows will fill in what remains. But if you want to have any space at the beginning of a row, then you definitely need to use an offset. So that's the basics of using the Bootstrap Grid system and using rows and columns on pages. There's a lot more to explore and a lot more to learn, but hopefully this gets you going and helps you move a little bit forward on working with your Bootstrap-based web design. Good luck, take care, have fun.